another conspiracy theory that you probably don't know is going to blow your mind?
Let's do it.
So, Monster Energy, the M, it looks like a claw, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you look closely, you'll see that the strokes of the M don't fully connect right. So yeah, each stroke looks like a 1, but actually it's a sign in Hebrew that means 6. So the 3 strokes together, it gives us 666 by coincidence. And as you know, that's the devil's number, right? But that's not all. Because when you really look at the monster logo, there's this O with like a cross right in it. I think you should really save this video because it will be censored, like for sure. So doesn't that seem weird for a brand that apparently has nothing to do with religion? They say it's like a coincidence that when you drink the can upside down, the cross is inverted, like an occult symbol. It adds something else to their logo, referencing the devil. And wait, don't forget their slogan, Unleash the Beast. All this put together makes you think, right?
Yeah.
The slogan, the logo, and the cross on top, it must really be intentional on their part. But honestly, why did Monster decide to brand themselves like this?
So how come the dragons don't fly over the ice wall to Middle Earth where we live? Now I asked this question to the guy who went to New Tared in a plane 5 or 6 times, and he told me that basically hundreds of years ago we killed all the dragons and they fled over to this region where all these other continents are. They went past the ice wall to escape from us, and they don't like to come back anymore because they know we will kill them. And also because of the 4G and 5G radiation, which I guess hurts them, and they're really sensitive to it. But also power outlets, which I guess that's a big thing too with the people who live all around here. Like, they call us contaminated, and that's the only word they use. They don't elaborate on that at all. And it is interesting how dragons are a part of every single culture. They're in their art, their stories and stuff. And look at this old dictionary. They're saying that dragons are now rare, and this was only about 100 years ago. So perhaps they thought that the dinosaur fossils were dragons, or maybe they actually did see them hundreds of years ago, and maybe we are still even seeing them in the skies today.
Oh yes, that's true. There's this ancient civilization beyond the ice wall of Antarctica, and no one's crossed that yet. Why? Because either we are not advanced or either they are not advanced. And they still don't have access to the telecommunication, to the mobiles, to the internet, nothing. That's why we can't see them. And yes, they do have flying dragons, but they haven't crossed the ice wall yet. That's why we can't see it. That's pretty convincing. The ice wall of Antarctica, which is still unexplored.
You feel that Hollywood is still racist?
No. Hell, motherfucker, yeah, they racist. Is you fucking crazy? Did you see the new movie about Moses?
Right.
How the fuck is the gladiator dude Moses? The fuck out of here. This is in Africa, not some small village in Sweden. Who comes up with this shit? That's like me playing JFK. Eddie Griffin as John F. Kennedy. The movie's gonna start with my black ass getting shot, then the rest of the movie's about the white detective trying to figure out who did it.
What do you think was some of the most racist things that you dealt with being in Hollywood?
Hollywood, man.
Just Hollywood in general?
Yes. When we all came out here, this goes from Martin's show to me and Malcolm's show to Jamie Foxx's show, so on and so forth. They put us on these new networks. Remember they had UPN, I used to call it You Pick a Nigga. The You Pick a Nigga network. Every black show creates this network. Once this motherfucker is built on our backs, they sell the motherfucker. Where's UPN at? Hey.
Okay. I just got my hands on what is unequivocally the most insane first-hand evidence that I've seen yet of what's going on with the sun. I want to clear a couple things up really quick before I show you all. This came from a very, very close friend in Arizona. They just sent it to me. You'll see some of the timestamps, and I trust them with my life. So if you trust me at all, I'm telling you all, this is real, this is authentic, and I'm just gonna show you what was sent to me, okay? So here's the first video. Take a close look at the refracting light It's even more prominent there. Now I'm going to show you guys a still shot of that refracting light right now. And then he also sent me a couple of pictures. Here are the pictures. Now, if you zoom in really closely on that picture of the sun being white, you start to see some strange things. So what I did was I went into the native editing option that's within the photos on an iPhone, and I made a few changes to the settings. I'm gonna show you in real time me making the changes to the settings, so that if you've got any pictures of the sun that have been taken anytime recently, maybe you can try the same settings and see what you come up with. I'm not telling you all what to think. I'm not even gonna tell you what I think that is. I want you all to use common sense, and I just want you all to understand this isn't a conspiracy, because I'm not telling you what to think. I'm showing you pictures and video that were just sent to me that are real and authentic. You can go out and film and take pictures of it yourself to see for yourself. Now, I want to be very clear. I'm not sharing any of this information to terrify people, scare people, get them to be concerned or worried about what's taking place. I just want to remind everyone, the King of Kings, our creator, is sovereign. What that means is sometimes he uses some very diabolical people on this earth to do some very diabolical things, all for the purpose of fulfilling his plan, his prophecies, and his promises. Bottom line. So we need to rest assured and unafraid in his love, in his promises, and in his safety. It is what it is. I like to be aware of my current surroundings and my current environment, so I'm sharing that all with you for that reason and that reason alone.
Almost every family has a panda.
That is a big fat lie. Pandas do not.
Perhaps these
Almost every family has a panda.
That is a big fat lie. Pandas do not exist. They don't exist in people's homes. They don't exist in the wild, but they do exist in the zoo. The first panda to be discovered was in the 1920s, and the first panda to be brought over to the US was in the 1930s by this woman. And you know how I feel about women. So you're telling me in over 4,000 years of Chinese history, they've never seen pandas until the 1920s? Bro, even in the Chinese zodiac, they have a dragon. Dragons are real, but pandas aren't. They've been lying to you about animals. This is called a fake animal. They have fake animals in zoos just to gain popularity, gain money, gain traction. But look at this picture. That's a stuffed animal. But they make you think it's real. The majority of pandas you see in zoos are just fake. They're animatronics, they're puppets, they're people in fursuits. They use everything they can to make you believe pandas are real, and they get so much funding for it. But you'll never find amateur footage of them in the wild. You'll get Animal Planet, you'll get nature photos, videos of people who run the show or whatever, and they'll make fake videos of it, but you'll never see amateur videos of it. You will never discover a panda in the wild. You're telling me this animal only eats one thing. It can only eat, and it only mates one time a year. Bro, this is the fakest animal you'll ever discover. Even faker than dinosaurs. Like, they will use people in fursuits, monkeys in fursuits. They just paint dogs. It's not real. If you know anything about the Illuminati or their symbolism and what panda eyes mean, like, you start to understand everything they do is fake and just to make money and just to make you believe in their lies. They love it when you believe in their lies.
Oh yes, I totally agree. Pandas are fake, and the dragons are real, and the unicorns are real as well.
It was a container full of dead babies. And in 1982 in California, there was this doctor and he had a shipping container in his backyard. And I'm not sure if he was like making payments to pay it off. So he failed to make payments. Check didn't go through. Somebody went to go repo it. So they took the container and stuff. And first of all, it was mad fucking heavy. It was hard for them to put it on the truck. So hard that they couldn't take it off the truck.
Damn, what the
That's
fuck?
how heavy it was. Yeah. So it was so heavy that they had to open it and basically unload it one by one. As soon as they opened it, one of the workers ended up getting hit by something. And it was a dead baby.
What the fuck?
As soon as that happened, they ended up calling the supervisor. Supervisor comes, they ended up seeing that in these cardboard boxes were a lot of plastic containers containing dead fetuses and dead babies. Exactly over 16,500
babies.
Dead babies were in there, bro. The authorities would call. Basically what that was part of an abortion clinic. Imagine seeing that, bro. Your fucking regular day at work.
I would get traumatized.
But people were saying that back then was when the news actually showed
fucked up shit.
So
this shit was on the news.
It was covered on the news, yeah.
What the fuck?
I'm gonna show you the videos now of like the people getting interviewed, like the workers and shit.
I got a radio call from Ron Gillette. They said the men were throwing up and there was something really wrong.
One of them fell down and hit me right in front of my feet. It was opened up and there it was. It was a mutilated.
That is so bizarre.
Morbid Facts, Part 235. At his 2011 celebrity Halloween party, Neil Patrick Harris brought out a cake resembling the mangled corpse of Amy Winehouse. The image is so graphic that I can't even show it, but it depicts a highly detailed rotting human head with a label attached saying the corpse of Amy Winehouse. This drew a ton of backlash, especially considering Winehouse had just died from alcohol poisoning 3 months before the party, but Neil has yet to comment on why such a gruesome cake was served. Before ever committing a murder, serial killer Ted Bundy actually did some good for society. He once saved a toddler from drowning, chased down and apprehended a purse snatcher, worked at a suicide hotline, and was appointed assistant director at Seattle's Crime Prevention Commission. The day of April 15th has a long list of tragedies that have occurred throughout the world. Abraham Lincoln's assassination, the sinking of the Titanic, the Boston Marathon bombing, the Hillsborough disaster, and the Notre Dame Cathedral fire all occurred on April 15th.
Well, those are some interesting facts.
You guys, I've been trying to say that I think Britney Spears' strange behavior is due to the fact that she actually had a baby. She actually went ahead and had her baby and did it in secrecy. And what we've been seeing is her body doubles and old clips and videos of her. And the reason that people think that she's not free is because she's laying low so that she can enjoy her child in peace. And I've been suspicious of this for a long time. And at first I thought, I'm just going crazy, it's all in my head. But look at this post. This is what she just posted on her Instagram. It's gonna probably get deleted, so I screen recorded this shit. Look at the bottom of the screen.
What the fuck? This is a Disney movie, and I'll never get over.
Pay attention to the bottom of the screen.
It's the shit out of it, and puts it in the closet. This is Disney.
Tell me that's not a baby's foot. Look at the bottom of the screen. Tell me that's not a baby laying there.
Why should just throw it out the window?
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Oh, so that's why she's been acting weird lately.
The darkest conspiracy theories. Part 1. The Titanic theory. The theory says that the Titanic never hit an iceberg. J.P. Morgan, owner of the Titanic, had two different cruise ships, the Olympic and the Titanic. He knew that the Olympic was old and rusty, so he switched the names and the colors of the ship. The theory argues that he wanted to sink the ship because all of J.P. Morgan's business competitors were on board. None of them survived the trip. Morgan himself canceled the voyage a few minutes before the journey began. Do you think this theory could be true? Or is it just a stupid conspiracy theory?
I mean, there's much evidence that that was not Titanic. In fact, that was Olympus.
I want to know why that man set himself on fire out front of that Trump courtroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, the woman.
So the man that self-emulated today outside of the Trump trial, his name is Max Azzarillo. He wrote a manifesto and posted it onto Substack. He stated that he did this to draw attention that we are all part of a totalitarian con by our own government, and they are about to hit us with an apocalyptic fascist world coup. So he talks about the Silicon Valley Bank. If you guys remember when the bank collapsed and then they pretty much got bailed out. I personally don't know much about cryptocurrency, but he is saying that it is the first planetary multi-trillion-dollar Ponzi scheme. He claims that the bank failures were intentional and that the Ponzi scheme is going to take down half of the stock market with it. And the scheme is so large that it's creating global inflation. He then goes on to say that many of the elites are awash with Ponzi schemes, stating that Stanford, SmartX.com, investment fund, Jeffrey Epstein's program for evolutionary dynamics that was ran at Harvard were both fake science Ponzi factories that these schools have invested billions in. But we already know the stuff with the Jeffrey Epstein, that is 100% correct, and he was doing all of these financial crimes. So he goes on to say that they're funneling trillions of dollars in stolen cash through the stock markets, creating the largest stock market anomaly in history. He claims it could be described as an economic doomsday device intentionally made to shatter the world's economy. He goes on to say that the U.S. government is fully involved in this totalitarian con and saying it's bipartisan, that it's both the Democrats and the Republicans. He goes into it in a little bit more detail, and then he basically is just saying that both sides are in on it and they are faking it and just pretending that all of these dramas that they drum up are essentially fake. He claims that both parties are run by financial criminals whose only goals are to divide, deceive, and bleed us dry. They divide the public against itself and blame the other party while everything gets worse and more expensive, and a handful of people take all the money. Since it is fully parasitic, a secret kleptocracy is an incredibly unstable form of government. Left to its own devices, it can only lead to fascism or failed state. He then starts talking about The Simpsons and how the writers are from Harvard and that they're kind of like poking fun of us. And he lists some of the shows and that they are kind of collectively laughing at us. He goes on to say that each side is mocking the hypocrisy of the other side, and the public's distrust of the government is at an all-time high, but so is the belief that we are helpless to do anything about it. And with all of this, a sharp rise in apocalyptic messaging. And this is the part where I feel like he hit the nail on the head, that, you know, that everything is out to kill us, that, you know, we feel like there is no solution to anything, that the American dream is dead. We, the public, are fully divided against itself. Everybody believes that they are powerless to do anything about their worsening circumstances, while the powers that can be organize an unprecedented apocalyptic rug pull on the entire populace so they can pivot to fascism. And it's like everybody knows, we can feel it, the path that we're on is not sustainable. And then he goes through all these historic things. Again, why did they tell us all these things so we would believe all these things? But at the very end, he says the biggest lie that we've been ever told is that we're powerless and that we need to abolish our criminal government and so we can build one that actually serves the public. And look what's going on in all of our states right now. I mean, we have Tennessee, we have moms being carried out of the Capitol for doing nothing because they're sitting there because Sexton doesn't like them. You have things like most states, the people claiming that, 70-80% of the people don't want an abortion ban, but you have the Republicans trying to keep it off the ballot because they don't want the people to vote on it. State officials are now just doing whatever they want to do, and they're not serving the public. Most people don't want TikTok to be banned, and they're not going to listen to us. They don't care because it's always been about the money. So was Max a conspiracy theorist? No, probably not. And I forgot to put this in there. You know, even Trump's own person is saying that we're in the early stages of fascism. At the very end, he ends it with, I hope you know how powerful you are. I wish you a hell of a lot more than luck.
I bet he doesn't know how the crypto works. So the crypto and the Bitcoin is how we set its own value, the people that are trading it. So it's like money. It is exactly like money, but instead it is like digital money. So I don't know where you get the Ponzi scheme thing, but it's definitely not a Ponzi scheme. It's a digital currency. And other than that, he's absolutely right about everything. I mean, that's the opinion of the general public, you can't deny that. But the way he demonstrated all of this, I think it doesn't affect anything. Because the elites, they don't care about it.
What do you know about citric acid? Oh, this is an interesting one. That's a GMO black mold created by Monsanto, and it's put into all these different products to cause allergic reactions. It actually inflames the skin and the gut lining. So citric acid is very toxic, and they put this in all kinds of stuff. According to Google, it'll corrode and burn your teeth, which is interesting because they put it in toothpaste. So why would you put citric acid in toothpaste if it corrodes the teeth? Well, because there's big business with Monsanto and trying to put these chemicals into the food supply and into everyday use products, even skincare products. That's why I talk about making your own skincare products, because a lot of skincare products also have citric acid in them, and that citric acid burns the skin, and then the person needs more product. So if you see the label citric acid or you see the ingredient citric acid, you want to avoid that. And like I said, make your own. Make your own toothpaste, make your own soaps. You know, you can make your own little, if you want to put some essential oils for some beautiful natural scents on yourself, but make your own. Stick to natural things.
I mean, that is how these big brands operate. They just offer a temporary solution, so you keep getting that product again and again.